Dear students, we were discussing applications of potentiometer. So one of them was left, that is internal resistance of cell. As how to find internal resistance of a cell using potentiometer. As first of all, let me draw its circuit diagram. AB is a wire stretched between the terminals A and B. A meter rod is fixed. As the wire is 4 meter or 7 meter or 10 meter, but here for the diagram we are representing here a single wire. It means this AB wire is a wire of total length that can be of 400 centimeter or 700 centimeter, whatever we have taken. Now to make the circuit complete, first of all we have to connect a battery. So here primary battery has been connected through ammeter, one-way key and rheostat. So here with the help of it, by adjusting the value of resistance from the rheostat, we can maintain suitable amount of current within the circuit. Now after this, as to find internal resistance of a cell, we will connect a cell, let it be having EMF E1. Now here what will be the connection? Here we are connecting a galvanometer and in its parallel resistance has been connected from the resistance box. Here basically this is the resistance box. We have to take the resistance from this box. This is key K1. So at the initial point, first of all, when suitable amount of current is flowing in the circuit, then you have to adjust the position of jockey on the wire, potentiometer wire, where galvanometer will not show deflection. Initially this main circuit was connected and without closing K1, just the circuit where E1 cell will be introduced. So when at one particular point of jockey over the wire, let the corresponding balancing length is L1, where there is no deflection in the galvanometer. So in that particular case, EMF of the cell will be equal to potential drop across length L1. That means if there is no deflection in the galvanometer, it means no current is flowing. It means this point as well as this point will be at the same potential. So it means E1 will be equal to potential drop across length is. So E will be equal to KL1. Now in the second step you will close key K1. Here you will close key K1 and take out suitable resistance from this resistance box and again start sliding jockey over the wire so that there will be no deflection. So when the jockey is sliding at the position of the wire where galvanometer is not showing any deflection, let that position is G1 and the corresponding length we can take it to be L2. That means from 0 and A to this point, this length is L2. So in that case, potential drop from A to this point, this will be proportional to length. So it will be equal to KL2. So this is a simple step. First of all, when this key is not closed, so in that case potential drop developed across this length will be equal to EMF. When this K1 key is closed, in that case potential drop across the increased length, total length, that is L2, will be equal to potential drop will be equal to KL2. So correspondingly, now we will take the ratio E upon V. This will be L1 upon L2. Now we have already explained the formula for internal resistance, that is E upon V minus 1 into R. R is the resistance we have taken from the resistance box. So E upon V is L1 upon L2. So it comes out to be this one. So basically when we are finding internal resistance of a cell using potentiometer, the entire result we will obtain in terms of balancing length. Similarly, in the previous application when you have compared the EMF of the two cell, again ratio of EMF was L1 upon L2. So these formulas you have to use directly. So these applications are important. Practice its diagram as well as its application as well as its entire proof. So now next is sensitivity of potentiometer. It means it is sensitive to even the smallest deflection. So smallest potential difference, it can be measured with the help of potentiometer. So basically, to increase the sensitivity of potentiometer, what we have to do, we have to decrease this potential gradient. This is a very important point. Don't get confused with it. If we have to increase the sensitivity, we have to decrease potential gradient. And potential gradient is given by V upon L and I rho upon A. Basic formula is this one. This is also the formula which we have taken in proof of potentiometer principle. So here, to decrease the value of potential gradient for a constant potential difference, constant voltage, L must be increased. That's why we are using in potentiometer the wire that is of 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter. It means length of the wire is increased. So in 1 meter bridge we have taken 1 meter length, but here in potentiometer, why we have taken longer length? Reason being, because more will be the length, more will be the sensitivity by decreasing the potential gradient. Second point, as it can also be decreased, potential gradient can be decreased when we are reducing the current. See from here, as it is proportional to current. Rho specific resistance and A area, these both are fixed. That means if we change the value of current, sensitivity will change. So another method to decrease potential gradient is to reduce the current within the circuit. This can be done by, so how to reduce the current? This can be done by increasing the resistance with the help of rheostat. So this is a main point, beta. In this unit, in this part of potentiometer, two kind of questions can be there. One will be numerical based, that I will discuss today. Another will be on the basis of sensitivity, and if you understand this particular concept, you will be able to easily answer all the conceptual problems. You have to work only on this result to explain the concept of sensitivity and all the conceptual problems. So now let me take few numericals. How to solve numerical by using the concept, by using the application of potentiometer. Now see the numerical section. Two cells of EMF E1 and E2. Here it has been given E1 is greater than E2. This figure is given. E1 and E2 are connected in this manner. These are connected as shown. When a potentiometer is connected between A and B, there are two ways. When a potentiometer is connected between terminals A and B, then its balancing length of the wire is found to be 300 centimeter. Whereas on connecting the same potentiometer wire between A and C, now it is connected between A and C, then balancing length is 100 centimeter. So what you have to find, calculate the ratio of E1 and E2. Basically here two cells, these are connected in the manner. Once the potentiometer is connected between A and B, and second time when it is connected between A and C, in both the cases balancing lengths have been given. So as we know, potential difference is equal to K into L. Now when the potentiometer is connected between A and B, as we have connections like this, two cells E1, E2, this is A, this is B, and this is C. So when potentiometer is connected between A and B, so in that case EMF E1 will be equal to, as corresponding to it balancing length is 300, so it will be 300 into K. Now when the potentiometer is connected between A and C, so in that particular case both the cells will be contributing, but here as E1 is greater than E2, so effective EMF will be here E1 minus E2. Here it has been given, so net EMF will be E1 minus E2, and corresponding balancing length is 100 centimeter. So the equation will be this one. So now we have obtained these two equations, so you have to rearrange and solve it. So here what you will do, here I am taking the ratio of equation 2 and 1. So here E1 minus E2 upon E1, this comes out to be 100K upon 300K. Here when we will get, that is 1 by 3. So now here when you will solve, 1 minus E2 upon E1 is 1 minus 3. Rearrange 1 minus 1 by 3 is E2 upon E1. Taking LCM and solving, it comes out to be here 2 by 3. Now what you have to find? The ratio of E1 and E2. So E1 upon E2 will be 3:2. So you can see here by using the concept that EMF is proportional to length of the wire. Basically the principle potential drop proportional to length of the wire. We have obtained the ratio of EMF of the two cells which are connected. Coming to next numerical, a 10 meter long wire of uniform cross section. Here see the next numerical which I am taking. Here basically we have to understand the statement very carefully. Statement seems to be quite long, but answer is quite simple. Main steps you have to analyze. 10 meter long wire of uniform cross section of 20 ohm resistance is used as potentiometer wire. See, within this first line we have given that wire is of uniform area of cross section and resistance of the wire is 20 ohm and the total length of the wire is 10 meter. Now the wire is connected in series with a battery of 5 volt along with an external resistance of 480 ohm. If an unknown EMF E is balanced at 600 centimeter of this wire, calculate potential gradient of the wire as well as the value of unknown EMF. So see from this statement what information we are getting. First of all, as we know, resistance of the wire is 20 ohm. Total length of the wire is 10 meter because length is given. Now here this is the total length of the wire, that is 10 meter, and it is connected to a battery. Now along with it a 480 ohm resistance is connected with the battery. This battery is of 5 volt, so it is connected with the total length of the wire, that is given to be 10 meter. Now here an unknown battery whose EMF has to be calculated. It is connected at a point and a galvanometer and through a jockey. Corresponding to it, balancing length is given to be 600 centimeters. So what you have to find? You have to find potential gradient as well as EMF of this unknown cell. This is of unknown EMF you have to calculate. So first of all what you have to do, as basically the total resistance in the circuit, that will be R, that is the resistance of the wire, plus 480 ohm. So it means it will be 20 plus 480, that will be 500 ohm. Now what will be the current flowing through it? This will be equal to total EMF, which is applied EMF, that divided by R dash. That R dash we have calculated. This is 500. So 1 by 100. This is 0.01 ampere. So this is the current flowing in the circuit. Now as for this particular case, as there is no current, why? Because galvanometer is showing no deflection. It means potential drop across this cell, across this point, will be same as potential drop across this balancing length. So first of all you have to calculate potential drop across the entire length of the wire. Why? Because that will help you to calculate potential gradient. As total length of the wire, that is 10 meter, is having a resistance of 20 ohm. So potential drop of potentiometer wire, this will be I into resistance of potentiometer wire. Current we have calculated, this is 0.01 into resistance is 20. So it will come out to be 1 upon 100 into 20. So it is 0.2 volt. Potential drop of the wire is 0.2 volt. Now as first point which has been unknown to us, that is potential gradient. So it will be potential drop divided by length of the wire, as the total length of the wire is 10 meter. So 0.2 upon 10 meter. So it will be come out to be that if it is given to be, because the balancing length is given in centimeter, that is 600 centimeter. So I will do the conversion in centimeter. Now it will be 2 upon 10 into 10 into 1000. rather it will be 1000 and again it will be 100. This is all simply calculations. So when you will solve, I can write it as 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 volt per centimeter. It's not necessary that I will convert it into centimeter, but further, as 600 centimeter balancing length, this length has been given to be 600, so we have to make the units similar. Now if we have to calculate EMF of the cell, so let it be E. It will be given by K into this length which has been given to us. So it will be 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 into 600. So when I will solve it, it will come out to be 12 into 10 raised to the power minus 2, or it will be 0.12 volt. So this will be, by this way you can calculate EMF of the cell. So basically what we have to do in this numerical, see, first of all we have to find total current flowing within the circuit, then potential drop across the entire length of the wire. For that will help you to calculate potential gradient, and from there, using the principle of potentiometer, we are calculating the EMF of the cell, that is unknown cell, that is connected in the circuit. So now coming to next numerical, length of potentiometer wire is 5 meter. Here 5 wire have been used, so total length is 5 meter. It is connected to a battery of constant EMF for a given Leclanché cell. As one cell has been given that is connected giving a constant EMF, the position of zero galvanometer deflection is obtained at 100 centimeter. Now here you have to see that when 5 meter wire of potentiometer is used, then galvanometer is showing deflection, null deflection at 100 centimeter. But if the length of the potentiometer wire is made to be 8 meter instead of 5 meter, it means total length will be increased. To calculate the length of the wire for zero deflection in galvanometer for the same cell. See, in this numerical, basically initial length of the potentiometer wire is 5 meter and the final length that has been changed is 8 centimeter. Corresponding to it, balancing length is given to be 100 centimeter, and here we have to calculate the balancing length corresponding to it. As L1 dash, I can take the balancing length for this particular wire when galvanometer is showing no deflection. Now corresponding to this length, you have to obtain the balancing length. Now here, as we know, potential drop is proportional to length of the wire, so it is equal to K into L. Now using this, as constant battery voltage has been used whose EMF has not been known to us, it can be written as K into L1 dash, because this is a balancing length. If I will put the value of potential gradient, that is potential drop per unit length of the wire, that means initial it was 5 meter, it's not centimeter, it is meter. Initially length was 5 meter and changed length was 8 meter, and the balancing length was given to be 100 centimeter. So what I have done, substituted the potential gradient as V upon L1 into L1 dash. Now for the same EMF, same battery we are taking, again if we have to change the total length of potentiometer wire, so it will be V upon L2 into L2 dash, where this L2 dash we have to calculate. So how to solve? Being constant, same battery, same cell we have used, so left hand side is same, so we will equate right hand side of both the equations. This numerical is quite simple. Basic concept you have to understand that for the total length L1, that is 5 meter, balancing length is 100 centimeter, and when the length is increased, you have to find the balancing length. So now V, potential drop is constant, you have to calculate L2 dash. So L2 dash will be L2 upon L1 into L1 dash. So L2 is 8, L1 is 5, and L1 dash, that is 100 centimeter, I can take it as 1 meter. So now when I will solve it, this 8 by 5, it will be 1.6 meter. See, basically what important point we are utilizing, that potential drop is proportional to the length of the wire. So for the constant same cell, when we are taking that, this what condition will be changing? Balancing point corresponding to different length of potentiometer. So here this length will be varying as well as balancing point. Since this L2 dash we have to calculate. So equating these two equations and solving, substituting the value, we are getting this particular changed balancing length. See this next question. This is quite very simple question. You can do it by yourself. See, a 10 meter long wire has uniform area of cross section. Find balancing length, this balancing length x, when galvanometer is showing no deflection corresponding to the secondary cell, 8 volt, and 2 ohm resistance is connected in series with it. So it has been given. So what should be the steps to solve it? So now what are the given data? As total length of wire is 10 meter, as the driver cell EMF is 20 volt. Now corresponding to it we can calculate potential gradient, that is E upon L or V upon L, as potential drop is 20 or the applied, because at this point if it is 20 volt is the main applied voltage, so this potential difference across this wire will be the same because there is no resistance connected in series with it. So 20 upon 10, this will be 2 volt per meter. This will be the potential gradient. Now what you have to calculate? You have to calculate this unknown balancing length when this cell along with resistance has been connected. See here basically this EMF has been given and we know that E is proportional to length, or it is equal to K into this unknown length, that is the balancing length. But this EMF has been given, K we have calculated, and X is unknown. So from here X comes out to be 4 meter. So that means for this battery balancing point, it means no deflection galvanometer will be obtained at a length of 4 meter or 400 centimeter. Now next numerical I am taking here. 20 meter long wire has a resistance of 8 ohm. Find balancing length when galvanometer shows no deflection. See this numerical is almost similar to the previous we have done, but here one series resistance has been connected here. So what are the given factors? As per the statement, length of the wire is 20 meter and resistance of the wire, that is given to be 8 ohm. So what we have to do? First of all, total resistance is as through the battery, as the battery is given to be, battery voltage is given to be 48 volt, and the resistance that is connected in series with it is 4 ohm. So total resistance will be R plus small r. This will be 8 plus 4. This is 12 ohm. Rather you will take it as 4 plus 8 because the values we are taking 12 ohm. Now corresponding to this resistance, what will be the current flowing through the potentiometer circuit? It will be voltage divided by the resistance. It is 48 by 12, that is 4 ampere. So basically in the similar way, first of all, as we must know the potential gradient. So for potential gradient we must calculate potential drop across the potentiometer wire. As current we have calculated, resistance of potentiometer wire is given to be 8, so it will be 32 volt. So now potential gradient is potential drop across total length of the wire per unit length. Potential drop as we have obtained is 32 volt, per unit length is 20, so volt per meter. Now EMF of the cell is given to be 12 volt and we have to obtain the balancing length X. So 12 equal to 32 by 20 into X. So now solve it. By simplifying it, you will calculate the value of X as it will be. So it is 15 by 2, that is 7.5 centimeter. See, this numerical is also quite similar to that one, but here the basic difference is here the potential drop across the wire will not be as the applied voltage, that is 48 volt. Why? Because along with the battery one series resistance is connected. So there will be some potential drop across this part. It means if the current flowing is, this is your 4 ampere and this is 4 ohm resistance, it means 16 volt will be the potential drop across this wire. So out of 48 8, this 16 volt will be dropping along here. So potential drop across this length will be 32 volt. This is the main point which you have to understand in this numerical. Now one more question I am taking. See, this question is of NCERT. This is solved NCERT examples and this has been asked in board exams also. So read the statement first. A resistance of R ohm draws current from a potentiometer. The potentiometer has a total resistance of R0 ohm. That means the potentiometer wire has a resistance of R0 ohm. A voltage V is supplied to the potentiometer. Derive an expression for voltage fed into the circuit when the slide contact is in the middle of the potentiometer. See, for understanding this statement, we have to convert it into the diagram. See how. Actually, this figure has been given. A resistance of R ohm draws current from the potentiometer wire, and this potentiometer has a total resistance of this R0 ohm. A voltage V is supplied to the potentiometer. Now, derive an expression for voltage fed into the circuit when slider is exactly in the middle of the potentiometer. See, here total resistance of the wire is R0, and when the slider is exactly midway, what will be the voltage fed to it? What will be the voltage drop across it? So, as you see, when the slider is in between, so now this much resistance will be R0 by 2 and the remaining will also be R0 by 2. These two will be connected in parallel. So let me take a parallel combination. 1 by R dash, 1 by R plus 1 by R0 by 2. This is 1 by R plus 2 by R0. So it will come out to be, by taking LCM, R0 by 2R, R, R0. So R dash comes out to be R, R0 by R0 plus 2R. See, this is in general form because values have not been taken. Direct symbols R0, R has been taken. So be careful while writing it. Now this is a simple combination, parallel combination. Now the entire combination of these two, this will be in series with R0. So now the new resistance, or you can say not new, this is the total resistance of the circuit. Let it be R effective. This will be given by R dash plus R0 by 2. So corresponding to it, at V is the applied voltage, what will be the current flowing in the circuit? V is the applied voltage and total resistance is R dash plus R0 by 2. So now taking LCM in the denominator, this will come out to be 2R dash plus R0, and this 2 in the denominator as an LCM which will go in the numerator. So it will be 2V upon 2R dash plus R0. See, steps we have to understand carefully because this is the simplest steps. Simple way we are proceeding, but as the points which we are using here, the values which we are using here, that should be placed properly. Now, what we have to find? We have to find voltage fed to the circuit. What is the voltage fed to the circuit? So, V voltage will be equal to, this is I into R dash. Why we have taken R dash? See, when the slider is midway, that means potential drop across this particular length. So corresponding to it, the resistance will be the parallel combination of R and R0 by 2, that is R dash. This is the main point which you have to understand. So now R dash you have calculated, I you have calculated. So now substitute the value of I. See, 2V upon 2R dash plus R0, and R dash is R, R0 upon R0 plus 2R. So here R dash, this is also now have to be converted into R, R0. Put the value here. So it is 2V upon 2. This will be R, R0 upon R0 plus 2R plus R0 into, in multiplication, R, R0 upon R0 plus 2R. So what should we do in the next step? Take the LCM in this, rearrange the terms, then you will get the final answer. See how? So now V will be 2V upon, in the denominator 2R R0, as LCM we are taking R0 plus 2R plus R0 plus 2R multiplied by R0 upon R0 plus 2R. So here this potential drop, let me change the symbol V dash because V voltage has been given, so we'll take it as V dash. So now this is 2V, and now when you will take it in the numerator, this will be as a multiplier, taking R0 common. This is 2R plus R0 plus 2R into R0 divide by R0 plus 2R. This will cancel out. R0 will also cancel out. So what we are getting? 2VR upon R0 plus 4R. So basically this is the voltage fed into the circuit when the balance point, when the slider is exactly midway. It means out of total resistance R0, when half of this resistance will be considered, so this will come out to be the potential difference. So basic steps which you have to understand here. See here, first of all, as the slider here is it in the midpoint, so take the equivalent parallel combination of these two. It will come out to be 1 by R plus 1 by R0 upon 2. Calculating the value. Then final, because this combination has resistance, so this is also in series with that R dash. So for the series resistance, total resistance comes out to be this one. Now calculate the current flowing in the circuit, applied voltage V upon total resistance. So now final step is find the voltage given fed into the circuit when the slider is at the exactly midpoint. That means R dash resistance will be contributing. So what I have done, substituted the value of this I, substituted the value of this R dash here in this, and substituting and rearranging what we are getting here. After this, by solving it in a simple way, we are getting the result. So the calculation seems to be slightly typical, but the steps, if you will follow one after the other, there will be no chances of error. So this is all we have to discuss about numericals. I have almost covered different type of numericals, and now you have to practice more and more numericals on it. Now we have also to discuss few conceptual problems. Although I have discussed that the sensitivity of potentiometer is only explained on the basis of two formulas, that I will explain to you. So practice all these numericals, practice more numericals on the basis of potentiometer. Thank you. Have a nice day.